So I love it. Growing up in Jamshedpur, values that really matter to you, and then you decide to make your way to Bombay.
Yeah.
You spent a few years there. What
Yeah.
was happening in Bombay on the graduation side?
So BA economics, and I had the best time of my life was in Bombay. I had my best of my friends in Bombay. I learned so much. In fact, I was telling my office colleagues yesterday that you must spend time in Mumbai at
Right.
least for a month. You
Right.
know what work culture, how to earn money. Bombay teaches us so much.
Yes.
So I started in Bombay. I was doing my classes, and in the evening, I would sell Tropicana juices on the roads.
No way.
I would sell Actu popcorn in the Kirana stores. I would sell those keychains, lighters, and all the stuff outside liquor shops, and I would get some decent amount of money.
Wow.
And I would come back in the early morning back home because in the night, the late night, the local train would stop. So I would come back early in the morning back home. My paying guest has to pay 500 rupees in that room in a small place in Bombay, Andheri East. And in the morning, I'll go back to the college. So this went for a pretty long time, but then I was not complaining because people call it struggle. I thought it was a great learning thing for me. So going from Jamshedpur, where you don't know how to talk, you don't know how to communicate with people, don't know how to interact.
Wow.
I think these lessons, these 3 jobs initially, they taught me big time.
So when you say that you were actually, one of the first salespeople in the aviation industry, your entry into sales actually started by what you just mentioned, selling Tropicana juice and selling cigarettes and lighters and knickknacks on local trains and in
Liquor
public
shops.
liquor shops and in public spaces in
Yeah.
Mumbai. Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane.
That is actually today when I look back, I think, but that taught me.
Of course.
That taught me.
Of course.
Standing outside a departmental store and giving the demo of how to cut those vegetables and fruits. And I was working with Tele Shopping Network also.
Right.
So we would sleep for 2 hours in that departmental store, and then again the shop opens. Again, we'll stand out and we'll give the demo to people. So I'm a BA economics gold medalist from National College, being a topper from there. Got a chance to go to US for my masters, but then all thanks to 9/11, could not go.
Right.
And that's how I landed up in Delhi for my masters.
Okay. And then how did the entry into the aviation business actually start? So I'd love to know that aspect as well.
Again, I don't know why, but I think in my life, everything happened by accident, nothing planned. So I was working as a consultant here in Delhi in a company, and MBD Radisson was my client.
Okay.
So there, the director of sales and marketing, Mr. Joydeep Chakravarti, was working. So we became very good friends.
Right.
While I was working for a consulting, I didn't know that Joydeep has joined an aviation company.
Right.
So I went to Taj Palace Hotel one day and suddenly jumped, jaldi bumped into me. He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "This company is launching today, so I'm a part of that company as a CMO." I said, "Wow." So I have also come for the same launch. Somebody's invited me. Saw the launch, I could not understand a bit of what this company is all about, fractional ownership and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But after the inauguration, after the launch, Joydeep asked me, "Would like to join?" I said, "Tell me the salary." So next time I met up with the managing director in Nizamuddin office. There was no interview. He just gave me a post-it, my designation, my salary, and he asked me what's the date of joining. That was 6th of August. I said 5th September.
This is late 1990s?
This is 2005.
2005. Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
2005.
Okay.
So that's how 2005, 5th September, I was in Club One Air.
Yep.
It's a Nizamuddin-based company. As a first Indian company, I would call it a first professional charter company.
Right.
Wonderful fleet they still have.
Right.
And Manav Singh, the ex-managing director, was a wonderful human being. Is a wonderful human being. I still take him as one of my gurus. Right. Guys, I think if I have to put, 10 people who have learned, or 10 things rather, I think 8 things I've learned from him. Everything that today I am possibly, I think 80% I owe it to him. Right. Apart from my family and my.
I love it. Yeah. So in fact, I used to hear a lot of Club 1A in the day because I think Manav was a very keen golfer.
Yes.
His father was at the club a lot.
That's right.
So I think we used to call him Mukhi Uncle. Was
yes.
his father. And his father and my father were, dear friends, and they used to end up, spending some time together. True. So I used to keep, hearing about him. Of course, I used to keep seeing Manav at the club, as club well. Yeah. And but yeah, I think you're right. They were, the OGs in the space for sure. Yeah.
He had a great idea. I mean, he was full of ideas, and there's a nice thing in my company that time that anybody will come and tell me, or I would tell people that if you one point in time, or if a day that if I come to the office and not keeping well, right, go and meet Manav for 10 seconds. we'll find. He was full of energy. Somehow he had that kind of an aura that, I worked very closely with him.
Right.
So we launched Mumbai office, South office.
Nice.
When I joined, we only had 1 aircraft. When I left in 2009, we had 8 aircraft.
Yeah.
We had more than 280 clients, almost 300 clients plus.
Okay.
It was a big number that time,
Right.
right? We had offices across India. We had people. It grew fantastically. Unfortunately, the exit was not good for me. Not good for me. It was not good. Rather, it was like in a bitter taste.
Right.
But I think that also was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Had it not happened, Book My Jet would not have been there. Fourth Station would not have been there. So I think
I'm sure you love this particular clip. If you want to watch the full episode, click on the link below and watch the whole episode.